Now, I know that we tend to think about one size fits all. Either you're narcissistic or you're not. Either you are a narcissist or you're not. But that just isn't true. That there are numerous kinds of narcissists. This is important information. It's important why? Because this information can help you make good decisions about how to navigate the incredibly challenging path of living with, working with, having a relationship with someone who's narcissistic. And again, this is all from my book, The Vulnerable Narcissist. First, we have the overt narcissist. We all know about the overt narcissist. Outgoing, entitled, arrogant. This individual may in fact have narcissistic personality disorder, or for sure they are on the spectrum. Arrogant, full of themselves. When they walk into the room, you know that they are self-centered. They are not inclined to get counseling. What does treatment look like? Treatment for someone like the overt narcissist, treatment only will come after their world has collapsed and they have some kind of need to get counseling. Externally motivated, for sure. But is there hope for this individual? Possibly, and only possibly, because they're full of themselves. They cover their inner shame by arrogance, by an inflated self-image. So prognosis is guarded at best. Now, a second kind, the covert narcissist. And the vulnerable narcissist is essentially the covert narcissist. Covert, of course, means many of the symptoms and traits are covert. When they walk into the room, they aren't filled with arrogance, although they have an underlying disagreeable attitude and an underlying arrogance, but their issues are covert. This individual looks pretty healthy. Who is the victim of the covert narcissist? You guessed it, the mate, the partner, the one who's living with this person. And over time, these pervasive patterns of disagreeability, overpowering, invalidating, and so on takes a tremendous toll. However, and this is good news, typically what I see is that there's a bit of a crease in this person's ego, meaning with enough confrontation, with enough of their world collapsing, they may be willing to seek treatment. Actually, our treatment programs are filled with covert narcissists. So treatment can be effective. It typically is long-term again, and it typically requires their mate to leave them or threaten to leave them, threaten to pull out of that relationship. There has to be some kind of external threat leading to internal vulnerability, which could lead to the possibility of change. Again, our programs are filled with covert, vulnerable narcissists. A third kind, the antagonistic narcissist. This is a subtype of the overt narcissist, and their focus is typically on competition and rivalry. They have a need to be dominant, and they are dangerous individuals. They will take advantage of others because of that competitive nature. What is the prognosis here? Again, the prognosis is guarded at best because they are so dominant, so competitive. They've got to win at all costs. So their world, for any kind of treatment possibility, their world must collapse. A fourth kind of narcissist is what's called the communal narcissist. This individual actually values fairness, and they want to see themselves as altruistic. Now, they aren't necessarily altruistic, but they want to see themselves as altruistic. They want to see themselves as making a good impression. They really struggle with anything, anytime they perceive any sense of unfairness, and they may be viewed as generous by many people. Where is the vulnerability going to show up? Again, in that primary relationship. So prognosis here is guarded, though again, because they want to be seen a certain way, that with the right kind of counseling, can be a way to get an avenue into this individual. The fifth one, so concerning, so alarming. This is the malignant narcissist. Oh my goodness, this is the most severe form of narcissism. These individuals have a strong need to be dominant. They've got to win over others. They will take advantage of others. And obviously, folks, obviously, this is a form of narcissism that is often associated with antisocial personality disorder. The prognosis here is extremely guarded. These are nasty individuals. They can be retaliatory, they can be aggressive, they can be vindictive. And again, many in the outside world may not see this, but boy, oh boy, the mate feels their ruthlessness, or anyone in close relationship with this individual are going to feel their ruthlessness, their antagonism, their malignancy. All right, one size does not fit all. There are many different kinds of narcissists, and there are nuances to each one of these. I hope you'll get the book, The Vulnerable Narcissist, and learn more about these different kinds of narcissism and what you can do if you're in relationship with one of these individuals. Again, if I can be of any help to you, if our center can be of any help, contact the Marriage Recovery Center and contact our client care team. We will help you find a path forward. Take care. I'll talk to you again soon.